Lueroi's Pokemon Alpha Sapphire Walkthrough, Part 10. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Alpha Sapphire version. And before we get started in Dewford Town here, let me give the viewer shout out of the day. And it's gonna go to Dusk Dawn JC. And if you want a shout out in the next video, then tell me in the comments, what was the first grass type I ever used in any walkthrough? Yeah, so a little bit of trivia for you. Go ahead and talk to this guy, this fisherman, right when you get into Dewford Town, and say yes to his question, and he will give you an old rod. The old rod is the most basic of all the fishing rods, but you can catch both Magikarp and Tentacle with it. Now, Tentacle is a Pokemon I used in my Sapphire walkthrough. It's very underrated. I think Tentacruel is an awesome Pokemon when fully evolved, a water and poison type, and everyone knows that when you get your Magikarp up to level 20, it becomes a Gyarados, and it's one of the most dominant Pokemon in the game, especially in 6th generation, because it gets a Mega Evolution, so yeah, a couple of really good options. Both of those Pokemon are kind of hard to raise early on, but definitely worth it once you get them evolved. Right here we have the gym. Gym Leader Brawly, a big wave in fighting. Now, there's a lot of things about Dewford Town that remind me of Cianwood City from Gold and Silver version. You have like the same little island set up in the same portion of the map. You have a fighting type gym leader in both the islands, so yeah, a lot of similarities there. This is the gym right here. I'm not actually going to take on the gym just yet, but you will notice that there are no marts here in Dewford, so your only option for buying items is this vending machine right here in the gym. Yeah, not every day you get to buy items in the gym, but here you can grab a fresh water. Now, fresh waters are great. I'd recommend stocking up. They're only $200 and they heal 50 hit points. I mean, compare that to potions, which cost $300 and only heal 20 hit points. So, the fresh water is your best bang for your buck. Plus, it's all natural, man. Potions aren't natural. There's all those chemicals and, you know, all those added sugars. It's bad for your Pokemon's cholesterol, all that stuff. You want to stick to the fresh water, man. Yeah, talk to this guy right here, and he's going to give you a silk scarf. And I don't know why my player always sits on the ground every time I talk to one of these guys in their house. I guess that's common courtesy in Japan where they made this game. I don't know. But yeah, he gives you the Silk Scarf. The Silk Scarf is very similar to the Miracle Seed that we got in the last episode. It boosts the power of your normal type moves by 20%. So if you are using a normal type Pokemon like a Zigzagoon or a Whismur, I'd recommend putting that, attaching that item to them. Or just put it on one of your Pokemon if your main source of attacking is a normal type move. So yeah, grab yourself a Silk Scarf there, and the only other building of any significance is to the left there, but there's nothing to do there until we get our 5th gym badge. So yeah, really quick, this is Route 106. Now, the main thing on Route 106 is the Granite Cave right here. Now, in the old games, you were able to go explore the Granite Cave and find Steven and deliver the letter. And from there, you could go along on your way and continue your journey. Well, they changed it up a bit in Alpha Sapphire, and now you actually have to defeat the gym before you can find Steven in the Granite Cave. So I'm going to cover all of this in a later episode, but you can catch Zubat, Geodude, Abra, and Makuhita. So yeah, a lot of options for new Pokemon in there. Go ahead and catch them if you want, but I'm not going to go in there until after the gym. Really quickly, you can find a Stardust right here on the rock, and you can sell that at the mart for $1,000. So yeah, definitely worth grabbing. And yeah, here's a backpacker we can fight. This is actually a new addition to the game. There used to only be fishermen on this route, but now you got Backpacker Graham and his Slackoff. Yeah, Slackoff's a pretty cool Pokemon. It does have the Truant abilities, so it's only able to use any moves every other turn, which makes it a pretty easy fight. And I'm going to try out Echoed Voice on Torchic, because for one, Slackoff has pretty poor special defense, and this is also probably going to be my strategy for the gym, the fighting type gym. I don't really have a lot of great options for taking down fighting type Pokemon, so I'm probably going to have to rely on this voice, starting up the Echo Voice train and trying to boost up its power a bunch every turn. Which, you know, proves to be a pretty useful strategy. I know I'm going to be pretty underleveled going into the gym. I'm not going to have any kind of typing advantages, so it's probably going to be one of the tougher gyms for me. That's why I'm up here getting every little bit of experience I can before I go in there. So yeah. And that's the tough thing about Brawly, the second gym leader. There's really not a lot of in-between time from the first gym to the second gym. There's not a lot of time to train up your Pokemon. So you're going to have to make the most out of all these battles if you're like me and you don't have a flying or a psychic type Pokemon on your team. But yeah, here we got Fisherman Ned, and I think this guy, yeah, he's got a Tentacle. So Tentacle is one of the Pokemon you can catch right here in Dewford Town with your Old Rod. And it is a water type, but I'm not really worried because I don't think Tentacle even learns a water type move until like level 15 to 20-ish. So yeah, Torchic has nothing to be worried about here. But yeah, I did use Tentacle. Shoutouts to Jelly Belly from the old walkthrough. Yeah, I did use Tentacle in my Sapphire walkthrough, and he proved to be pretty dang good. It's a water and poison type. He's way faster than people think, and he has a lot of special defense, really high special defense stats. So yeah, he's definitely a good option to add a water type to your team, especially if you want something early on. And luckily I'm not going to hit myself in confusion, so I'll throw some more rocks at this Tentacle and knock it out. I always think Rock Tomb's a funny move. Like, where are you getting these rocks at anyways? And Torchic doesn't even have hands to pick them up and throw them in the first place. But that's going to do it for this Fisherman. I think we have one more Fisherman on the route. And oh yeah, before I forget, let me run back here. How did I forget this? This is the most important hidden item on the route. It's the Heart Scale. We found one Heart Scale earlier, just before the Petalburg Woods, and I'm going to try to track all of the hidden ones down because it's definitely one of the most useful items in the game. About midway through, when we find the Move Relearner, we'll be able to teach our Pokemon a lot of great moves with those Heart Scales. And speaking of hidden items, there's a Pokeball right there, which is pretty worthless compared to the Heart Scale, but whatever, we'll grab it anyways. And down here we have a Protein, which will boost up the attack stat of your Pokemon, so I'll probably save that for Poochyena. And speaking of Poochyena, let's give him a chance to shine right now. I don't want him to fall too far behind in levels because he's my lowest one right now, so we'll put him up and take on this last Fisherman. So yeah, like I said, there's not really a lot of trainers to fight before Brawly's gym. There's only 3 guys here in Dewford, so yeah, that's what makes it pretty tough. A lot of people struggle with Brawly, the second gym leader. It was pretty funny. In Ruby and Sapphire, you could actually completely skip him if you wanted to. But in this game, you're forced to fight him before going into the Granite Cave. Now I'm going to go ahead and use Howl here just to boost up my attack, because I know he has 2 Pokemon, and all Magikarp's going to do is splash anyways, so I might as well get a little bit of an attack boost going on. Yeah, we'll give him a bite right there. And check that out! Critical hit to take him out in one shot. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, you can catch a Magikarp if you want to be like Fisherman Elliot here. You can also catch a Tentacle. Yeah, Magikarp actually ends up being pretty much on par with, you know, Blaziken and Swampert once it gets its Mega Evolution. So yeah, if you're willing to train up a Magikarp from level 5, he's going to be one of those Pokemon that can pretty much take out most of the game all by himself. But yeah, you're going to have to deal with Splash for, you know, 10 levels or so. But yeah, that's it for that Tentacle right there, and oh, Hercules is barely going to miss the level up right there. But yeah, that's it. We'll collect our money, and that's about all there is to do here in Dewford Town other than the gym, so, and other than Granite Cave, of course, so yeah, pretty small area, not a whole lot to do, so let's just go ahead and get our Pokemon healed up, and I guess the time has already come. We're going to take on the Dewford Gym and see what Brawly has to offer. So I will see you guys in just a minute. Alright gang, welcome back, and without further ado, let's head inside the Dewford Gym. And yeah, 2 videos ago we were taking on the first gym leader, Roxanne, and we're already here in the second gym. How's it going? Champ to be Lueroi, Dewford's gym leader. Brawly commands fighting type Pokemon. Going against him with normal types is asking for trouble. Yeah, they'll lay a serious smackdown on your normal types, so that's this guy's advice. Like, yo, don't use normal type Pokemon. Yeah, like, great advice. So here's my advice. If you have flying or psychic type Pokemon, you're gonna be in good hands. If you have a Beautifly, for instance, or a Zubat, or a Tailo, you're gonna be in good shape. If you have a Ralts, you're going to be in good shape. Otherwise, you're probably going to have a pretty tough time with this gym. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Not everyone's going to have a typing advantage over fighting at this stage in the game, and Brawly has some heavy-hitting Pokemon. Fighting types are known for having really good attacking powers, so you might have your hands full. And you're probably wondering, what in the world are you doing with Poochyena? He's a dark type, you idiot, they're weak to fighting. Well, Meditite's also part psychic type, so he doesn't really have a huge typing advantage on me. And this particular Meditite only knows the move Confusion as far as attacking moves, so he can't even do damage to me. All he can really do is use Detect and, like, you know, Endure and stuff like that, so I figured I'd use some Howls while he's messing around with all those moves that don't do anything, and yeah, a couple bites will probably take him out. But yeah, Meditite, don't even think of him as a fighting type Pokemon, because all he knows is Confusion, so don't let that scare you off. This thing, more than anything, is just really annoying, because he uses that move Detect, which, you know, blocks all your moves. He uses Endure, so you can't knock him out, just kind of gets on your nerves, but I figured I'd let Poochyena get up a level really quick there, since Meditite literally can't touch him. Oh, and I'm learning the move Odor Sleuth. Yeah, this is a pretty crappy move. It's, you know, let's say your opponent used Double Team like 5 times in a row. You could use Odor Sleuth and their evasiveness would go back down to 0. You could also use it to attack Ghost-type Pokemon with fighting. Yeah, the whole point of this gym is you get to step on the little light pad, and then it shows you the path you have to take, then you walk through it in the dark, yada yada yada. You guys get the picture, it's not that complicated. But I'm going to take Poochyena out because, you know, he can only last in here so long against fighting types. I think this dude has a Machop on his team, which would probably knock me out in 1 hit, so... Yeah, this is Black Belt Hideki, and he's got a Machop. Yeah, we did see one Machop earlier in that route by Rustboro City, and these things can hit pretty hard. The ones in here all know the move Low Sweep, which is a really powerful fighting-type move. So yeah, we'll see how Torchic does against Machop. I'm going to go with the Echoed Voice. Now, I've talked about Echoed Voice a little bit in the last couple of videos. Basically, I think this is a very underrated move. This can really help you out in a lot of tight situations. You notice it doesn't do a lot of damage at first, but it just multiplies and gets more powerful and more powerful every time, so... Looks like he's going to use a Foresight. So yeah, this Echoed Voice, by the time you're on your 3rd one, it's 120 base power, which is crazy awesome, crazy powerful, and I got a critical hit. So that Machop did not stand a chance, didn't even put a nick of damage on Torchic, so... I'm up at level 14, that's good. It means I'm going to learn the move Peck, which is convenient because it is a flying type move. So I suppose I'll get rid of Scratch. I mean, I don't know, Peck is super effective against the fighting types in here, but it's so weak that I don't really think I'll use it. I'll probably stick to Echoed Voice, so yeah, whatever, but... So there we go, we took out Hideki, and let's continue with the little maze here. So yeah, there's nothing really too challenging about it. You get a nice little aerial shot of the path you have to take, and you go through. I gotta admit, I like this a little bit better than the original design, but it's kind of the same idea. And yeah, this is actually the last trainer right here, so I believe she starts with a Meditite, so... You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's go back to Poochyena, since he took care of the last one pretty easily. There's no need for Brawly to be involved. I'll crush you! Oh, is that right? You're gonna crush me. Battle Girl Tessa. Yeah, shouldn't be a problem. She's gonna start with Meditite. Now, Meditite's a Pokemon you gotta really watch out for later on in the game, because Meditite's ability doubles his attacking power, similar to what Meryl has going on. So, if you do come across a Meditite that knows physical attacking moves, it's gonna dish out a lot of damage. And for now, all he's going to do is use Detect and stuff like that. I guess he's got Meditate, which is pretty worthless. It boosts his attack stat, but all he has is special attacking moves. So, yeah, this will be super easy. There's no way he can even put damage on me. And I guess he's got Bide, too. But yeah, you don't need to worry about Meditite in the actual gym fights. He doesn't have one on his team, so yeah, we'll be done with Meditite for a while. And I guess that means we should go back to Torchic, because he's the one that I trust to take on these Machops. Now, I was really hoping that my Torchic could be fully evolved into a Combuskin. That was really going to help out with this gym fight, but since I have 3 Pokemon and I'm kind of divvying up the experience evenly, I'm not quite going to be there, but that's okay. It's going to make the gym fight all that more challenging for me. So we'll hit him with an echoed voice. Not going to do much, but all we need is to get it going a few times. Machop's going to go with the focus energy. He's getting pumped. What are we going to do? I'll tell you what we're going to do. Just keep screaming in his face until he falls over and dies. Wow, so both of these Machops are just going to use focus energy and foresight. A couple of worthless moves. Which is a shame, because they actually have high attacking power. He could probably do a number on me with a move like Karate Chop, but luckily these gym trainers aren't too smart. But I am a little bit worried about Brawly, though. He's not going to hold back at all. This Machop's a little bit tougher. Alright, so that's it for the gym trainers here, and that means there's only one little bit of the puzzle left to go, and that doesn't look too bad. We can get that figured out real quick right here. So, over to the end and up like that. Yeah, there we go. Then go ahead and step on this panel, and the rest of the lights turn on. Yeah, what were we playing, hide and go seek or something? You just like chilling there with the lights off all the time? Just love saving money on utilities, I guess. But yeah, Brawly's over there getting warmed up. He's ready to go, and this seems like the perfect stopping point. So next time we'll come back and take on the second gym leader, Brawly. Stay tuned for more.